Hello everybody, this is Bobaluey. I'm once again your host for this excellent Starcraft 2 commentary ahead of us. Looks like we have our players here spawning on the bottom left in blue Terran player, Polt. And spawning on the top right we have the red Zerg player, Stephano. So, I've heard of both these players. I'm pretty familiar with the background. Stephano is a European Zerg player, and he's been around on the scene for a while. Excellent Zerg player, top caliber pro. And same with Polt. Polt is a excellent Terran player from clan TvZ. He is, I think, won WCS and a few other major tournaments. He's definitely made a name for himself, and yeah, he's been pretty active on the scene. So it looks like we got Stephano doing a little bit of harassment here with his drone scout, and it looks like Stephano is going for a bit of a macro beginning by dropping the hatchery, and I think he's going for another hatchery. I think he's doing the 3 hatchery style. And Polt went for an early gas, so it looks like he'll probably be getting either a Reaper or getting an early factory out soon. And here's a Marine, so I guess early factory it is. And that drone from Stephano is being super pesty. And the SCV, I think, will go down, and first blood right there. SCV taken out, and the Marine is a bit too late on the scene. So Stephano sends out Overlord Scout here, and I believe that's to check the Expo or potentially get into the base later and scout. Also to check for drops eventually if it lives that long. And it looks like we got a very late spawning pool. But it's actually perfect timing to coincide with what's going on in this game. This one Marine though, and this bunker could cause some trouble for Stephano. And look at that. I think the SCV will escape, but you know, having a bunker right next to your Expo is a real nuisance. And here come the Lings, and there's 2 Marines, and he just got to take out the SCV, and there he is. The SCV went down, and now the Marines will probably fall too. And I think just Polt wanted to put a little pressure on him and just try to get him to make some mistakes or, you know, slip up his build, what have you. There we go. I keep forgetting to put the names up when I load these replays. So he's going to get Zergling speed with the metabolic boost. Being researched right there. And we see Polt get his Expo. And there's a pack of Hellions, or pair I should say, rolling out. And this one Zergling is in the best position. And the second Zergling, I think, oh wow, nope, he's spotted too and will be exterminated accordingly. These 2 Hellions are just trying to shut down any sort of creep that Stephano wants to try to spread out. And now there are 4 Hellions, and sure enough, the Roach Warren is ready. So we're going to see some Roaches popping out to counter these Hellions. And unless Polt can somehow get in and do some economic damage, Oh, here we go. You see him run into the main, but he just gets right back out. I think he was just trying to scout, see what's going on. It's a pretty standard opener for Polt. A lot of Terran players usually go with Hellions early on. And there's the roaches are kind of doing this like roundabout attack, even though he has a tower. I don't understand. I think the padding maybe is naturally that way. I don't know, but the Hellions now trying to keep Stephano's army back, and Stephano is a bit uncertain. He stopped his army from going all the way over to the other side, but I think he decided to commit to this attack, and now he's coming back. He's undecided. He's really teetering between moving in and out, and I think he just needs like a few roaches and he could stop this Hellion pressure, and sure enough, here he is. He's pushing up the ramp, and Stephano is trying to get in, knocking on Polt's door, and the SCVs come out, but will they be in time? No, the supply depot goes down, and now we got Marauders and a couple Marines. The SCVs are tanking damage, but will it be enough? Looks like he might be able to hold here. The Marauders are still up, and that's what matters, because the Marauders are pretty good against roaches, and that push by Stephano is negated, or denied, I should say. And we see Stephano drop his third base. Second expansion. And the Zerglings is run by, I don't know, depending where the bio's placed, could do a lot of damage. And that did nothing, so oh well. And we see that Polt is going bio this game. He's researching combat shield right now. Looks like he has his third command center getting ready here. He has his 2 dropships ready to roll. We'll likely see him push out. The Lings were ready to roll in. Stephano losing some Lings there. We see another pack of Lings just run out, and the bio looks like it's going to be heading towards the third. Let's see if Polt can do some damage here. In the meantime, we see that Stephano's getting a macro hatch, getting both melee upgrades. And here we go, here's the engagement. A bunch of Lings just ready to pounce on his army, and Polt's army surrounded. And look at that, he's got to pick up. He has to pick up. It's just too many Zerglings. You know, you gotta love dropships. I mean, having medevacs right there to get your army out at the last minute, it's awesome. It's just a matter of time before mutas come out, though. We'll see mutas in the field soon enough, I'm sure. And income for both players. Wow, Polt actually has a slight gas advantage, but they're pretty equal otherwise. Units lost. Right now, Stephano is definitely lost quite a bit more units and resources. And these Zerglings get mopped up. So this Overlord's scouting out the expo here. Natural. And we see a bunch of production buildings go down. That's just a big pool of Zerglings. And there's the infestation pit. I guess Stephano does not want to go mutas. I think mutas are just so effective at just pulling Terran players apart, just spraying them out, but at the same time they're really fragile. And Polt is actually a Marine tank, so I don't know. I think having the mutas there might have been better. It's just, I guess it's a player preference, just different style. Looks like Polt might be trying to do some harassment with this unit. Tanks are in a bit of a funky position. I think he's just trying to keep them in the center in case some wild push comes through. Both players just macroing up right now, and it looks like we got some infestors on the field now. Three are about to pop. Behind this, we see Polt's upgrades. Gain all sorts of upgrades, both mech and melee, or mech and bio, I mean. And that drop didn't do a whole lot. Just a lot of lings. 2-2 lings against 1-1 bio right now. But his attack upgrade will be finishing pretty soon. So this little drop here is about to get overwhelmed by a huge cluster of Zerglings. Wow, picked up just in time. And here comes a small pack of lings that I guess just wanted to feed the Marines there. Stephano buries a bunch of his lings and decides to move in. Oh, but at the wrong time. He loses like half of them running in. And I think he's just trying to keep the army back, but I don't know. I think he gets a tank for all those lings. It's just not the greatest trade. Yeah, he's lost a lot. So Stephano burrowed, which is actually very clever. And here's another engagement. A bunch of lings go down, just to hide the lings, to use them later when Polt is out of position. Very, very smart, crafty moves by Stephano. Very clever. And here comes a small flank and the main push over here. And will it be enough? I don't know. I don't think he has enough lings. Stephano's just got to build up. Just hold. He shouldn't have ran in his lings right then. And oh, the infestors get a decent fungal. Takes out that squad. And here are the ultras. Will they be enough? I think so, actually. If you can just keep them at the bottom of this ramp. Just keep Polt down there. He could defend. And right now, this other wave of units is coming out. And these Zerglings are actually great scouts. Just where they're located, it's just a nice location, and just waiting for him to drop something. And oh man, the infestors are kind of moving in a bit too much. He's just dropped infested Terrans to take out the squad, and it might be enough. It's very close, very close. And here comes the reinforcements, and I think that'll clean this up. And down go all the ultras. And here comes another pack of ultras. Stephano is just down an army supply right now. Crucial point. But the Ling reinforcements are coming. And a couple infestors this might be enough. just, it's going to be very close here once again. There's so many tanks, that's the problem. And Stephano's down in supply again. About 10 supply difference now. This is a pretty intense game, a lot of action. So they're just duking it out the bottom of the map here by Stephano's 4th base, and Stephano's now in the process of making it 5th. It just popped, and it looks like he's sacrificing this one to go to the other base that was just finished. I think he could have just gone back and forth a little bit more, not just sacrifice it, but you know, I guess he didn't want to deal with that headache. Put some sort of aggression on Polt. But Stephano's in an interesting position here because he has really nothing that can shoot up besides infested Terrans. So he has a lot of ground units, a lot of melee units, and Polt's army's just cleaned up. Wow, and Polt is remaxing pretty quickly here, but the army's supplies now have somewhat equaled out. There's a 20 supply difference. This will be enough to keep Stephano back. And Stephano really needs something that could shoot up besides infested Terrans here, unless he wants to get a bunch of infestors. Rocks in the center of the map are just taken down by Stephano. And we got another engagement going on. There's a small drop that's going to get mopped up. And Polt's going straight into the main of Stephano here, and smart play by Polt. Stephano's army's totally out of position. He might be able to take out the extractor right here, and boom, it goes down. Another engagement on his expansion here, and the Expo will probably go down. He's just outnumbered here. Stephano being stretched out. Great play by Polt. Just baiting and switching back and forth like that. That was excellent play by Polt. And now there's a 30 supply difference. And oh man, this planetary just not enough defense here. Goes down. Great move by Stephano. Take base of his, he'll take a base of yours. Just like that. Tanks galore here. And a lot of Marauders. A few Marines in the bunch, but a lot of heavy ground units. These guys are just duking it out. They're giant ground armies. And here comes a bio push hitting Stephano's expansion. This will go down most likely unless Stephano can take out all these tanks. And wow, he's somehow able to knock out the army right there. And Polt is in dire straits here. These tanks are just getting overwhelmed. Oh man, the infested Terrans are just pulling everything apart. And I think Polt is in pretty bad shape here. This whole push of his just got messed up. However, look at the army supplies. There's about 30 supply difference. And I think Stephano lost a lot defending there. So hopefully these units, these infestors, can make up for the lack of army supply here. And he's just running the infestors in. They're just dying left and right. And I don't think it was good enough. It's just now it's 50 supply difference. Stephano has to sacrifice this base. This hatchery is going to go down. There's just no way he can save it at this point. And look at that. Down to 86, 30, gone. But Stephano once again can use this hatchery because he rebuilt it. So he's been jumping between both these expansions, which is pretty funny. And Polt really, although he lost this, his economy has not been disturbed. Stephano's been put on the ropes back and forth. And if we look at units lost, dramatically higher for Stephano. But you know, as a Zerg player, you are going to generally lose more as far as your units lost goes. But their economies are actually pretty equal, so it's interesting to see that. And workers' kills are equal. They've just been slugging it out. This is incredible to watch. Big fungal, but he loses all his infestors in the process. Oh, and Stephano taps out. GG. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this one. It was a lot of fun to cast. Please give me your feedback, any tips you'd like to send my way. Thanks for watching.